So earlier today, we got some information that said that things are so bad in Washington, D.C., that Democrat leaders aren't talking to anybody. They're not talking to their caucus. They're not talking to Republicans. They're not talking to anybody. And I think now we know why. I'm going to show you two clips. The first one is going to help you understand what they're terrified of. And the second one is going to help you understand why they're not budging and why they fully intend on seeing SNAP benefits completely eliminated, at least for the month of November. They need people in the streets.
A friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period.
There you go. That is one of the biggest podcasters on the radical left that exists today, a woman by the name of Jennifer Welch. And her show, her opinions are disgusting. And there you have it. She is threatening the Democrats that unless they get on board with the attitude that it is okay to assassinate your political opponents, they're coming after them next. The other piece of this that you have to understand is that the Democrats have no intention on moving at all on the government shutdown until they get enough people that are hungry and angry and are willing to get into the streets. You see, a few weeks ago, when the No Kings protest failed so spectacularly to get the numbers and the diversity that they needed into the streets to justify the $300 million that they spent, it sucked so much oxygen out of the room that most people weren't paying attention to the fact that there's another set of protests scheduled to start on November 5th, this time by an organization called Refuse Fascism, that was started by a guy that considers himself a revolutionary communist. And we have some leaked audio from a planning session to help you understand exactly what they're planning starting November 5th and why they need people so riled up and angry to get there.
This needs to be what happens right now. We're organizing millions of people to get to Washington, D.C., stand and surround the White House, surround the Capitol building, surround the illegitimately fascist Supreme Court, and not stop until the Trump regime is driven from power. We start on the 5th, we go to the 6th, we go to the 7th, we go to the 8th. We keep pushing every day, building and growing our numbers until masses of people are standing around the White House, around the Capitol building, around this fascist and packed Supreme Court until we drive the Trump fascist regime from power.
They have planned an event to start on the 1-year anniversary of Donald Trump's re-election, and they think that if they allow this government shutdown to continue, enough people will be so upset and hungry that they'll join them in surrounding the White House, the Capitol, and the Supreme Court until they force the Trump administration to leave. This, folks, is an actual insurrection. This, folks, is an actual sedition. Folks, this is what the beginning of a violent revolution looks like.